In his new book, here it is right here, The Prince, The Turbulent Reign of Justin Trudeau, author Stephen Maher documents the triumphs and the struggles of Canada's 23rd Prime Minister, and he joins us this morning from Montreal. Stephen, it's good to see you, and I want to start with, in this book you write that Justin Trudeau is the closest thing that Canada has to royalty. Why is that, and how has that helped him?
Well, it was really the secret of his early political success. That and kind of hard work, but he was famous from the time of his birth. And here in Montreal, when he announced his intention to run for the Liberal leadership back in 2012, he part of his pitch to Canadians was, "You know me, you've known me for a long time, and we're on a journey together." So there was a kind of yearning in Canada at that time for Justin Trudeau to become Prime Minister, which I didn't actually realize at the time, although I covered it. But it soon became clear because he had this kind of immediate appeal. So he had this kind of built-in advantage, a sense of familiarity with Canadians, and that's what launched him on the path that took him from being the third-party critic for amateur sport to being Prime Minister in just a few short years.
Is that what prompted him to go down that path? Because your book details Trudeau's early days as a high school teacher and snowboarding instructor. But at what moment did he realize he was going to go in a different direction?
Well, he actually, I think it was when he helped Gerard Kennedy, who was running for the Liberal leadership in 2006. Trudeau got his first taste of Liberal politics, and one of the qualities that he has is he gets energy or gratification from public attention, being in the spotlight. And I think that at that moment, he said, "Oh, I like this. I want more of this," and that's when he decided to run for Parliament.
Mm-hmm. Now, Stephen, as we know, Justin Trudeau famously implemented gender parity in his cabinet, but he has also faced criticism from female Liberals like Dr. Jane Philpott and Jody Wilson-Raybould, who both resigned from his cabinet. What were their concerns about Justin Trudeau?
Well, the SNC-Lavalin affair was sort of the beginning of, or the end of, the honeymoon for him. And this was a dispute about a corrupt Montreal engineering company that Trudeau and his people tried to convince the Attorney General to interfere in the prosecution to save jobs in Montreal was the stated reason. This caused this cataclysmic falling out, and ultimately Jane Philpott, who was an extremely effective had been an extremely effective health minister, felt that she no longer had faith in the Prime Minister. So you have this kind of cascading series of errors that caused Mr. Trudeau to lose some support that he's never won back. Until then, he seemed to know what he was doing and be ethical and competent, and a certain percentage of Canadians watched that happen and decided that they were not going to support him again.
And speaking of support, Stephen, many polls, including one this morning by Ipsos for Global News, indicate that the Liberals are far behind the Conservatives in popularity. How likely is it Trudeau will run in another election?
Well, nobody knows but him, because his position in the party appears secure. And he was out doing interviews this week saying how excited he is to keep working for Canadians. But you look at that poll today, the thing that struck me about that is the low percentage of Liberal supporters who want him to stay, right? There's quite a small number of people now who think that Justin Trudeau should stay. And I think that even people who like him recognize that he's become a kind of divisive figure, that you accumulate baggage after all these years. So I know that people close to him are suggesting, Justin, you're a young man, you've got a lot of opportunities ahead of you. You don't have to be Prime Minister forever. But we don't know. He's a very controlled communicator, and he is not going to start giving us clues that he's thinking about leaving.
All right. Well, we will watch with interest, and you can read more in this right here, the new book. It is called The Prince, The Turbulent Reign of Justin Trudeau. It is out now. Author Stephen Maher. Stephen, thank you so much for the time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.